Hey! Happy Thursday, everyone. We're on a special time today. Our special guest today is Matt Diggity, and he's calling all the way in from Asia, Chiang Mai. We'll be talking about how to start an SEO business, how to get some backlinks, how to start your own conference, how to start your own agency, all kinds of good stuff, guys. Matt, what's up, my man? Leon, what's up? How you doing?
How you, man?
Hey, man, how's it going, my man? Okay, Matt's already in the back. Everyone, just get your shouts out. Today we'll be talking about how to start SEO businesses with our very special guest today, Matt Diggity of Diggity Marketing. All right, what time is it there?
We're looking at 7:52 a.m.
Oh, nice and early.
Where are you at, brother?
I'm out in Oakland, California.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
A little later here, but you know, got the energy, get things going.
Yeah, it's like 6 p.m., right?
Yeah. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, in the very beginning, I go over 4 videos I find on the internet on what was just released this past week in SEO, and then about 8 minutes after my time, I'll introduce you in.
Sure.
All right.
Hold on, I'm gonna mess with my audio setting.
All right. Happy Thursday evening from Seattle. Hannah Becker, hello.
All right, testing 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good, look good, love it.
Thanks, man.
Fletcher, hello y'all. What's up, Matt?
Bracken Fletcher.
There we go. Jeremy, the Diggity cometh. Hello, Jeremy. What's up, my man? All right, guys, we got about a little less than 7 minutes to go. We'll be talking about how to start different SEO businesses, your own conference, your own agency, backlinks agency, maybe a little backlink tips back there. With a very special guest today, Matt Diggity of Diggity Marketing. Yo, what's up, Dre and Matt? Good evening from Florida. It's pretty late out there, Ernesto. Thank you for coming by. Oh, okay. I see Sandy from LinkedIn. Hello, fellow SEO experts. Hello, Sandy. Rayham.com. Yo, Dre. Love it, guys. Thank you for everyone for coming out at this special time. Johnny Howe, good morning from Sydney. Hello, sirs and ma'ams. Be sure to get your questions ready, and I will ask them when they come up. Carol Fry, hi guys. if you're watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, I could sometimes see your content questions, but I'm using Restream for LinkedIn and Twitter. So if you leave comments or have questions, I might see it. But if you want to be sure to get your questions addressed, hop on to YouTube. Oh, Jeremy says, Matt, how hot can you take the Thai food over there in Chiang Mai?
So there's different levels of spicy. There's foreigner level spicy and then Thai spicy. I don't mess with Thai spicy. Like the foreigner level spicy is like Thai children spicy. You don't mess with their stuff.
Man. Sandy says LinkedIn just shared. Let me see if I can bring those comments on LinkedIn. If you're just tuning in, we have our very special guest all the way from Chiang Mai, Matt Diggity. And we'll talk about how to start SEO businesses. This goes on to, we'll talk about like agencies, link building businesses, conferences, you name it. Sandy says, I love spicy, but spicy don't love me. Yeah, I want to see. Can I think of yeah, I need to fix my restream comments here, but I think I see you. It looks kind of small on my screen here. Big shout out to Dan Hale for making us connect. If you're watching this, thank you, brother. All right, guys, we got about 90 more seconds to go. I'm going to go ahead and start lowering down the music and making sure I got all my buttons ready. And Matt, I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute right now, then I'll unmute you right when I introduce you in. All right.
Hey Dre, how did the SEO find their way back through the woods? Yeah. Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul-Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show. Hey!
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul-Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the founder of Diggity Marketing, Matt Diggity. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Jeremy, Carol, Johnny, Ray, Kobe, Ernesto, Hannah, Fletcher, Matt, Leon. What's up, guys? Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and support this channel. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, how did the SEO find their way back through the woods? Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, get it, breadcrumbs.
This past week, Google SEO Office Hours was just published on their channel. Let's check out one question. Is it okay for two domains with different TLDs to target for the same keyword? Let's check this one out.
Well, my gut reaction is whether this would be confusing for your users. Two domains each having presumably the same content might be pretty confusing. From policy's perspective, this might also seem like search result manipulation, and maybe you don't want to go there. I'd check out our spam policies for that too.
So this doesn't mean that you can't. If you want to push boundaries, go for it. Ted Kubaitis could rank for his was ranking for the whole page 1 with 10 different domains when he has one of his e-commerce websites going. So be sure to test boundaries and go ahead and rank more domains. Jason Barnard and Olga Zar chat about Google Knowledge Panels. Let's check this one out.
So, on the About page, you state factually who you are, what you do, who your audience is, why people should believe in you or work with you. It's a way to A, educate Google, and B, convince Google of your credibility and your reliability. It's your version of who should work with you, what you can help them with, and why you're a good solution for them. But written for a machine so the machine can understand. Whereas the homepage is more exciting, client-based or personal-based, where you're saying, this is who I am, I love to run, which I know you do. I also work in SEO. I also have a dog and live in a pigeon, whatever else it is. And that means with the homepage, you can have fun.
Be sure to check out the whole video in the link description below. A past guest, Robbie Richards, shares his 5-step keyword qualification process. Let's check this one out.
Okay, so the first one here is traffic potential. Essentially, if you rank for a keyword, you just want to make sure that it's going to actually drive traffic to your website. And the traffic thresholds are going to vary depending on your business type and the intent of the keyword. So for example, typically higher intent keywords are going to have lower traffic thresholds, whereas lower intent keywords are going to have higher traffic thresholds. The second one here, and this is arguably the most important, is content type and format. Now, it doesn't matter how awesome your content is or how many backlinks you've built to it. If you're targeting a keyword with the wrong content type and format, you'll likely never be able to rank. The third one I'll look at is domain and page rating metrics. And specifically, you want to see domains that are within 5 domain rating points of your domain ranking in the top 5 positions. And similarly, you want to see page ratings of the URLs in the top 5 positions that are in the single digits or low teen values. Next, you want to look at referring domain counts. Once you've identified keywords that have domains similar to yours ranking in the top 5 or 10 positions, you also want to make sure that those have or require single digit or low teen referring domain counts in order to rank. And then finally, we want to look at the parent keyword, and within different keyword research tools, they'll often give you the parent keyword. You want to make sure this aligns directly with the keyword that you're targeting, because it's extra validation that you actually need a dedicated article in order to rank for that keyword.
Just a heads up, Robbie Richards reopened his SEO course and group. It's one of the courses and groups I'm a part of. So if you want to join in the SEO community, check that one out. Crafting content for featured snippets by Ahrefs. Let's check this one out.
Nonetheless, here's a few things to look out for before getting started on the content. First, take note of the type of featured snippet. If you see a paragraph as the current featured snippet and a numbered list in the queue, then aim to use either of these content formats. For SEO pricing, it seems like a short paragraph is the way to go. Next, find the elements of the page that are surrounding the content from the snippet. For our example, it looks like the paragraph that is being pulled into the snippet is directly under an H2, so we can try and recreate that with our content. And even though featured snippet types and content formats will be different for every keyword, there are some common patterns. For example, for definition type featured snippets, people often have an H2 of the question and then immediately answer the question like a definition in a dictionary rather than trying to add in fluffy filler lines. Here's an example of Investopedia ranking for the keyword commodities and where Google is pulling the snippet from on their page. And finally, you'll want to analyze your competitor's page to understand the context of where the featured snippet content lives.
With the new GSC layout coming to Google, which is pretty much snippets on steroids, I'm personally testing out and optimizing my blog post formats and structures to fit these snippet criterias. I'll be sure to share what I find in my test results. Do you know who has done a lot of testing in his time? Is my guest today. So be sure to ask questions and I will adjust them in the order that they are received. Please support and like the channel while I get things ready here. Matt is an SEO expert focused on affiliate marketing, client ranking, lead generation, and SEO services. He's an SEO influencer, keynote speaker, and blogger. He was featured in the New York Post, Search Engine Journal, and listed on the top SEO blogs to follow by Ahrefs. He is the founder and CEO of Diggity Marketing, the Search Initiative, Authority Builders, Lead Spring, and the host of the Chiang Mai SEO Conference. Please welcome Matt Diggity. My man, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. That was quite the intro. I'm mutually embarrassed and excited at the same time.
Have a good round of applause. All right. You know, when I was actually doing some research on you before the show, I've actually realized that Diggity wasn't really your last name. Is that true?
No, it's not my last name. It's a pen name. But if you really want to figure out what my last name is, you're gonna have to dig.
Got it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask this question, which I asked this question right when everyone comes on here for the first time. In 1 minute or less, how does Matt get ranking on page 1 of Google?
All right, no foreplay, I see. Let's get right into it. So 1 minute or less, I'd say the most important thing is choosing the proper niche, especially where I'm coming from, mostly delving into affiliate marketing. Niche selection is 90% of the process. So choosing a niche, then I follow a topical authority approach. Figure out everything that needs to be written in your given niche, map that out, and then get writing on it. And especially before the next core algorithm update, because that's when topical authority gets re-ranked. Next, not only are you writing everything, but you're writing everything well. And what I mean by that is you're writing for the search engine. Words like right for the reader, quality content, these are garbage filler words that have nothing actionable to say about them. Right for the search engine is the one that gives you traffic, then you focus on conversions. But what does writing for the search engine mean? Hitting the search intent correct, answering the search query in an NLP-friendly format, creating the article outline based on the H2s and H3s of your competition, optimizing the content itself with the proper entities and the right frequencies using a tool like Surfer, Pop, or what have you. And hitting publish and hopefully answering that question as soon as possible towards the top of your content, because Google's now looking at goal completion instead of dwell time. Lastly, the oldest thing that really has mattered in the algorithm since the beginning is backlinks. So build backlinks. They're going to speed up the process. Backlinks are the decision maker, and almost all of the algorithms that Google says are things that they do. EAT, decided by links. Product review guidelines, I'm very sure that most of it's decided by links.
Love it. First knowledge bombs of today. Let me rewind this real quick. Hold on. Take us way back. How did you first get into SEO?
Let's see. So I was an electrical engineer. I worked for a company out of the Silicon Valley, but I was based down in San Diego, and I hated it. I was working 60-hour weeks and on a subject that I just really couldn't give a rat's ass about, even though I went through the whole gambit of bachelor's degree, master's degree, and everything. So one day my friend handed me the 4-hour work week, and I was like, oh boy, this is the end of everything. I just got to figure out how to make this thing work. Ended up going to a meetup.com meetup for people that were reviewing the 4-hour work week and talking about like what projects they're working on to try to get their location and financial independence. And everyone at that point in time was doing a course called the 30-Day Challenge. This was put out by a marketer named Ed Dale out of Australia. But the whole concept was, in 30 days, you're going to make $1 online, and you're doing that through blogging and SEO, getting your traffic. And it worked for me, and I got hooked. My first site didn't make that much money. I would say probably made $1,000 during the course of its lifetime. My second site eventually got up to $3,000 a month, and then I was kind of like, this works. This works. This is an alternative. I'm not making as much as I did as an engineer, but it's enough for me to dive into it full time.
Love that. So what part of SEO actually made you interested in it?
Man, I mean, to me, SEO itself isn't that interesting. It's interesting to me because it's my business and I own it. And it's part of the fuel that gets me the results that I want in my life. But I don't think SEO itself, like going in and memorizing schema types, that's not cool. What I like is the fruits of SEO, which is freedom of location. I mean, you can do this from a laptop anywhere you want in the world. And freedom of time, like it's essentially passive income. My websites make money when I'm sleeping. So that coming from a 60-hour work week engineer was a godsend. I wanted to travel. I wanted to have more time to myself. And so these things really struck a chord with me. And then I guess you can sprinkle in like my experience as a gamer. Like I love gaming. And what is Google? Google's a leaderboard. Number one's at the top, right? And so like my competitiveness really gravitated towards SEO.
Love that. Okay, so now that you were interested in it and you're ranking your websites, but I mean, how'd you actually learn it? How'd you actually learn SEO?
It was first through that course, the 30-Day Challenge.
Okay.
Like the genius of that course is they're going to send you an email every day. Day one is how to register a domain name. Day two is how to get it hosted. So like a little bite size every day. Unfortunately, as you know, like a 30-day course on getting a website ranked and monetized wouldn't work these days, right?
Yeah.
Like there's more moving parts and like Google moves slower these days, but the concept was great. And I wish I could replicate something like that, a daily kind of thing, but it's just too complex these days.
Love that. Okay, so other than that, I mean, were there other resources or any people you followed back when you were first learning it?
Yeah, so I've eventually jumped on the forums as you did back then. Like that's where I guess most of the people were hanging out. So like Warrior Forum was one of them. Digital Point was another one. I never really got into Black Hat World. I kind of thought there was just more information there than there's good juice. Then eventually ended up on Alex Becker's course forum, whatever you want to call it, SourceWave. And then that opened me up to, gray hat SEO and things like that. Also followed people like Terry Kyle. I really enjoyed like his approach to learning SEO, which is really based on SEO testing. And I think that point in time was when my SEO knowledge acceleration and result acceleration really took off, when I remembered, oh shit, I'm an engineer. I know how to perform SEO tests. I know how to create a single variable testing environment. So then that opened up a whole bunch of different opportunities for me.
Love that. So I want to get to today's topic, which is like, how to start SEO businesses. Because I mean, you have a ton of them. I listed all out in your intro. A lot of people are on here to kind of like learn, pick your brain more about starting their own business, or in SEO in particular. I mean, for someone looking to start an SEO business, I mean, what advice would you give to them in terms of finding clients and building a successful business?
Okay, so I'm assuming here we're talking about building an agency, like a client-focused business.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, cool. So in my experience, I went a little bit of a different route. I started with making a personal brand. So the first agency, the first SEO service I ever made was a company called Diggity Links. So
Okay.
I had built a large PBN network, private blog networks, myself, that I was using to power my affiliate projects. And then one of my buddies who approached me on SourceWave was like, hey, you're using some of these, but I'm sure you're not using all of them. And each PBN can roughly give 10 backlinks. Why don't we monetize this? And I thought, okay, why don't we? He said he'll work on building and managing the PBNs, and I can work on marketing it. So I was like, okay, so that's my job. I'm doing the marketing. How does one go about getting eyeballs to an agency? Well, let me produce content. Let me start a blog. Let me share some of these single variable tests that I've been performing for myself and share this knowledge with other people. And so then it kind of was a necessity. I wanted to sell a product. I wanted to build an agency, a link building agency. So I just decided to attract eyeballs by producing content, and it worked out. So it started snowballing from there. I think I don't think blogging and writing blog posts is the right format to do anymore. I think in this day and age, people don't read. I mean, when was the last time you read an article from top to finish without skipping over like 50% of it? It just doesn't happen anymore. So I think effective ways to get started these days would be leveraging social media. YouTube is probably the S tier channel to really to build an audience. But also just jump into Facebook groups. That's how I accelerated my influence, is just going to some of these SEO Facebook groups and answering people's questions, showing you're knowledgeable by helping, rather than just going on social media and making this huge blog post about using hero's journey type marketing tactics, today I woke up and I realized just one thing will change your business. That's cheesy, man. Just help people. Just jump in the groups and help people. So basically just figure out what's your niche within the niche. My niche is SEO itself, but my niche within that is affiliate marketing and SEO testing. And so just double down on that and help other people. And then just figure out what is your medium for communication. My actual best medium for communicating is written. I'm on YouTube. I create YouTube videos, but I'm way better in written word than I am in spoken word. So how do I use that to my advantage? I script my YouTube videos. I script out every line. So now I'm in control of the voice, and I can get over my hurdles as not having the gift of the gab or being an extrovert kind of thing. So I think one of the most effective ways is to build a personal brand. That's the only way I've done my experience. Of course, I've accelerated it all with paid ads and funnels and stuff like that. But personal brand is how I got the traction. As in terms of building the agency and hiring and staff and all that, I think we'll get to that later, but I don't want to jump ahead of myself right now. But in terms of growing it, definitely personal brand.
Love it. A lot of knowledge bombs dropped right there. So personal brand, guys. How for those guys or even girls or anyone who's out there who's, they want to build that personal brand, but they're just shy. I mean, what can you do to go out there to just do it? You've actually reached over 100,000 subscribers now on YouTube. That's a huge milestone. So what are some the tips for someone just wants to go ahead and start?
So I'm shy too. I'm definitely shy. When people see me on YouTube and then finally meet me in person, I think they expect that I'm going to be a rapid fire kind of guy, a high energy, dropping jokes all the time. I'm just not. That's just not the way I am. But when you're getting started with YouTube or video or social media or podcasts or whatever, you're going to get better only just by doing it. So I only started 2 years ago. I started in January 2021. I said, I'm going to make a video each week. And guess what? When you do it, you get better over time and you just refine the process. The point is, at the beginning, you need to get started and you need to stick to it, because what you're doing in the first year is you're just learning. And you're going to get discouraged. You're going to be I just spent 3 hours creating this video and I got 500 views. That's part of it. It's part of the learning process. So that's why you want to stick to a posting schedule and just get used to it and make yourself committed to sticking to that posting schedule.
Love it. Love that. So I want to go back into, more of the agency stuff and I'm pretty sure you ran into a lot of mistakes and spent a lot of money out there. What are some common mistakes that you've actually went through when you're first building your SEO business so others can actually, try to avoid that?
With the agency type stuff,
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, first off is scaling and hiring and stuff like that. So I think one of the biggest mistakes we can make as SEOs is I learned how to do SEO on my own websites and I know how it works. I know how to select anchor text. I'll just hire more people like me and they'll teach them what I do and then we'll move on from there. But the thing is you'll never hire anyone who's passionate about your business as much as you, right? And other people have different skill sets. Some people are good at talking to people. Some people are good with numbers. Some people are good with sheets, and some people are good at like team building. Like there's different roles for different people. So ignoring the management and hiring side of things will really get you stuck. And I would say two of the most biggest pitfalls that you can find in the hiring and management side of things is one, not hiring A players. So what is an A player? An A player is the type of person that's going to be able to succeed at doing the things that you need done in your business that most people will fail at. So these are the people that are going to take your business to the same level. If you start hiring B's and C players, even if it's at a low level, let's say I want to hire my first link building outreach manager to be a B player. If he's a B player, your team will never have an A player on it because a B player will never hire anyone that makes him look bad. And also they don't know how to recognize what an A player is in the first place. So like once you commit to going a little bit below bar in terms of your hiring talent, you're stuck with that. That whole department, that whole link building department will never be good because you started out with the first B player. So that's one thing. I would say like if you want to really understand hiring, read a book called Who, the A Method for Hiring, which is really like there's nothing better in terms of understanding how to hire. The second part is learning how to delegate responsibilities instead of tasks. So a task would be, I want you to look at the spreadsheet. Anytime in column C, there's a number lower than 50, I want you to delete that from the sheet. Anytime the number is higher than 80, I want you to mark it in green and then do this 5,000 times and send me the report at the end of the week. What this signals to the employee that got this job is that my boss thinks I'm an idiot. It gives me a meaningless task and I'm supposed to do it repetitively and somehow not get bored. I pretty much know that I'm not appreciated in this company and I will never, I'm only trusted to like follow instructions like an idiot. A responsibility would be, we want, at the beginning of the week, we want 300 leads that we can outreach to that meet this following criteria. I don't care how you put this together, but it's up to you. This is your responsibility. Let's see what you come up with. And you now own this task. You're the responsibility of this task. This is something that the person can get behind. My boss trusts me. I'm going to do a good job on this. And in fact, I know I'm the owner of this task, so I'm going to probably train someone else to do this later. I better do a good job. So that's the difference. And these kind of things, you don't learn when you're just like logging into WordPress and like optimizing things. You don't learn that kind of stuff. You got to get this knowledge somewhere else. And I think a lot of it's not intuitive. So I would invest in some kind of like training or something like that, hire a mentor or something, because I didn't have any experience in my experience as an engineer or just doing SEO in the first place and learning how to like hire and manage.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that there. And guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. I'll be sure to address them. So I want to get into one of your businesses, which is your link building business, which is something that, that's really well known in the industry as well. And when it comes to like, building links, what are some of like the most effective strategies you've seen to work like so far?
Yeah, link building can be viewed as like this very complicated thing. There's so many like link types you can build. Like one of the most common questions I get when I'm speaking at a conference panel is, should I build irrelevant links to my website, right? I just got an opportunity to get a link from the Washington Post. Should I turn it down because it's not about ping pong like my website is? Like, come on. So I understand where all this confusion comes from, because the knowledge about it on the internet is just scattered. It's all over the place. Google's saying one thing, SEO experts are contradicting each other all over the place. I like to look at link building in two different categories. One, you want to have your high volume, high relevance links. So these are going to help establish the relevance of your site. If a golf site links to your golf site, then Google thinks your site's a little bit more about golf. And then the volume of it's going to supply page rank, which is going to get you moved up the rankings. And so for these link types, I'm looking at what are the easy ways to get relevant links is like guest posts and link insertions, like outreach, using vendors and stuff like that. And then we have our low relevance, high authority links. So just this is a normal way the internet works. The higher authority of the website, the less niche down it is, right? Your Washington Post, your New York Times, they don't have a niche, right? But you don't get to be that big if you're niche down in the first place. So these are going to supply trust. If you get a link from a site like the Washington Post, that's a rare link. It's called the seed site link. And if you get a link from them, that builds the T in EAT, the T trust in EAT. So don't worry about relevance when it comes to these guys. You want these and you want these, and just look at them kind of separately. Other than that, so where do you get the high authority links? So that's like techniques like Haro or digital PR. And then other than that, you just like want to have some hustle to your link building plan. So things like affiliate partnerships. If you're an affiliate and you're linking to a company like Onnit, then reach out to Onnit and say, hey, I'm just linking to in this review. I can get this review higher on Google if you link back to me. And so just doing outreach like that. 2-for-1 guest posting. If someone is asking for a guest post on your site, you can say, no, we don't do guest posts on our site, but next time I reach out to a guest post, I'll get you included on one of these, and you can do the same for me. So it kind of like 10x's your link building efforts. So like all these different like hustle techniques will help supplement the game, but the majority is link insertions and guest posts, and then digital PR and Haro.
Love that. So I would love for you to talk about more about your agency, because I've actually got some links from you, and I want you to share for those that don't know about how it works, because you actually kind of like help people find it. You fish it out, right? And then people will come. So if you find a site, hey, we found this site. Can you explain how that works and like how it's really, really helpful on relevant links?
Well, the thing is, like when you're link building, you're always paying something. You're paying money. Usually it's always money, always some kind of money is involved, because most webmasters don't let you post unless you incentivize them in some way. Or you're trading time, right? And so if you're doing the outreach yourself, you're trading time. So what Authority Builders does is it did all the heavy work before you. It already found a bunch of websites on the internet that meet our criteria. The biggest one is traffic. So if a website has traffic on Google probably doesn't hate it. Only 9% of the internet has traffic, so I don't know why they would give a website traffic and hate its backlinks. So that's one way to look at it.
Okay.
So we've done the work of contacting these sites and negotiating a low price and vetting them for quality and stuff like that. So you would contact Authority Builders and then or just log into the dashboard and select something that you want, and then all the time spent is handled for you.
Love that. So we got our first questions for the audience from Matthew. Are profiles Web 2.0 links worth it, or do you skip them entirely to get guest posts and stuff?
I skip them 100%. Like one way to look at it is Google ignores a lot of links. That's why negative SEO stopped working so much. I mean, it still does work, but for the most part, it stopped being that effective because Google's able to ignore a lot of links. And if you think about it, like what are the easiest links or what are the safest links that Google can safely ignore without breaking the internet? All the links that are super easy to get, either they're free or they take a little bit of time to get. So blog comments, Web 2.0s, profile links, all these like super cheap ways that even a machine can build for you. Google knows the internet's not going to break if they turn off the value on those links. So it's just a waste of time.
Got it. Matthew, hopefully that answers your question there. All right, so we got a question from LinkedIn. Let me see if I can bring it on the screen here. I don't know if you can see that there, but it says, what are your thoughts on ChatGPT and Google Bard AI replacing SEO? That's from Sandy Rowley from LinkedIn.
ChatGPT, so I don't think ChatGPT already has huge adoption. I don't know about you, but I haven't lost any traffic on my websites yet. So that's just one thing one thing you need to understand is like we live in a bubble. So ChatGPT is like all we're talking about here in the SEO world, but outside of this, no one's really using it, right? Bunch of coders are, but like your grandpa at home doesn't log into ChatGPT, right? So there's that. Now Google SGE, that does look like it's going to be a threat, and how much we're going to lose traffic, it depends on your keywords. It depends on the adoption, depends how they roll it out. But at least how it looks in beta right now, you'll Google something like best way to make money online, right? What it looks like is right at the top of the search result, you're going to see generating AI answer. So there's going to be a little notification that it's generating the AI answer. And then below that is your normal search result. Now, it takes about 6 to 12 seconds to generate that AI answer. I don't know about you, but I don't wait that long on my Google searches. So if you start scrolling down at all, the generation stops. So that to me seems like, okay, these things are going to show up, but how much are they going to be adopted and how many people are going to stick around for the waiting the AI answer? I'm not sure. Now, of course, this is the beta version. This will probably speed up over time, but right now it doesn't look that threatening. And we have to think at the end of the day, Google's going to hold on real tight to their ad model. So this is their golden goose. This is where between the AdWords and AdSense and display ad networks, this is like 60% of their income, right? And that's not a small number. That is a 12-figure annual income. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars per year. So they're going to be very resistant to make these changes and give less traffic to websites, because if there's less traffic to websites, people aren't going to pay for the ads as much. People aren't going to pay for display ads either. So there's that. So that's what I think we're looking at. We're looking at a non-zero amount of traffic loss, but the way I look at it is like they just gave us free reign to use AI to generate content. They just legalized black hat. Take away 50%, all the way up to 50%, maybe even just as small as 10% of my traffic, but give me free reign to 10x my content production. I'll take that deal any day of the week.
Love that, Sandy. Hopefully that answers your question there. Let me go ahead and bring, I want to go back into now another one of your businesses is affiliate SEO, something that you are also huge in. So I want you to kind of like really talk about like how can someone build in like an effective affiliate SEO business, and what are some challenges that they may face along the way?
Yeah, the biggest one is niche selection. So the variance in ROI is gigantic in affiliate marketing. So there's some niches. For example, what would be a good one? Laptops. Everyone thinks laptops is a great niche to get into. Laptops are expensive. Everyone needs them. They're like $3,000 each. If I sell one, then I get even a small commission on Amazon, still hundreds of dollars, right? The problem is just like the ROI in that niche is just so bad. There's just so many CNETs and big tech radars, all these big sites competing for these keywords. It's just like what it takes to compete there is just too much. And so like I've never seen any laptop review website making more than $10,000 a month that isn't like a major authority site. So that's one big thing. Then you have other niches like just the ones you would not even think of. Like first off, most people think that the marijuana niche is like going to be very high competition. Sure, CBD is pretty high competition, but there's niches within marijuana that are pretty wide open. Marijuana seeds is super easy and you can make a lot of money in that niche. So it's really about like getting the niche correct in the first place, because you could spend $10,000 on one niche versus another niche and make 10x different money. So it really starts there. Then the biggest challenge is like getting to profitability. Like every affiliate website is going to start off in the red because you're building a website, you're building content and backlinks, and you're not generating any money. So it's like you need to get used to being in the red. Trust me, once you're ranked to where you want to be, just 1 month at the top of Google will pay for the entire journey that it took to get there. So you have to stick to the plan and just know that you're going to get there eventually. But it's like a psychological problem, like spending more money on a site when you're not cash flow positive each month. But just you need to get there, and that's when things start to take off. Like for me, I know like I'm going to turn the corner eventually, so I invest super heavily from the beginning. But a newbie might see like, okay, I'm still in the red. I'm only going to put in like $300 each month. And that's just going to extend out the timeline it takes for you to get to profitability and then hockey stick up. So that's something you learn with experience and just getting through that part in time. But like once you're in the green, or once you commit to knowing you'll be in the green, you'll really start to hockey stick. Another issue with an affiliate business is scaling. So like a lot of the time you want to keep investing in your sites so they'll continue growing. So like, okay, my site's making $10,000 a month. I wanted to make $20,000 a month. So I'll take 8,000 of that and put that back in the website. So that my profit margin is only $2,000 a month. You're not cash flowing that much out. Then you start to build another project, and then you're just saying like, I'm not making that much profit, and I'm now managing 10 websites. Like, where's this freedom of time and location that Matt was talking about? I now just created myself another job.
Yep.
So the way to get behind this is flipping websites. So once you get a website up to making $10,000 a month, that's going to sell for $400,000 on Empire Flippers. Imagine now all the staff that's working on this, all the resources going into this one. Now $400,000 now goes into my bank. I can take a little bit of that and plug it into a new website and another project. And if you can't, so they're typically being sold on like 3 to 4x multiples, 3 to 4x annual multiples. You have 3 to 4 years to repeat this for a new website before that became a bad decision. You can definitely do that when you have $400,000.
Love that. On the topic of domains, we had a question here from Sandy again on LinkedIn. Let me go ahead and bring a comment in here. And she's asked, like, is there still a market to sell keyword-rich domain names?
To sell keyword-rich domain names? Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I never got into like domaining or anything like that. But I would imagine like the most lucrative domains that you can get right now are like brandable, and the shorter the length, the better. So, I mean, I'm sure someone wants to buy keyword-rich domains, but like I doubt it. I doubt they're like going to get a premium price.
Got it. Hopefully that answers your questions there, Sandy. So I want to. Jeremy says, this is a $5. He got a $5 super chat here. How does Matt find so many clever and hilarious ways to get people to smash that like button on his videos?
Dude, so like YouTube is a freaking grind, man. Imagine, so like I've pigeonholed myself into like not ever being able to get any help with YouTube scripting. So like the content I'm producing is like pretty high level, and it's not just like here's an H1 tag, here's an anchor text. Like it's about cutting edge stuff. So I have a hard time finding any help with the scripting, so I have to do it myself. And then imagine having to show up every week and spend hours to script your own videos. It's super draining creatively, and it starts to get boring over time. So I have to insert humor into my videos or I'll fucking lose my mind. I have to like screw around. I have to like be silly, or else I'm just not going to do it anymore. So it's part of the requirement of surviving in the YouTube game.
Love that, Jeremy. Thank you for the super chat there. So I wanted to go into one of another business that you got going on here. Man, SEO entrepreneur for sure. It's like an SEO event. Events have been coming back hard since the the whole everyone going back into like in person stuff. When it comes to and you have something called the Chiang Mai SEO conference in Chiang Mai. When it comes to organizing an SEO event, I mean, what are some things that you are keeping in mind when you first created this event?
Well, when I first created it,
yeah.
So it started with the mastermind. So I think this is like 2015. So I network with like some of the best in the industry, and we just had this idea to bring people over to Thailand and have a mastermind event. We had like 60 people. We broke up into groups. We were so fired up after that event. We're just like, you know what we need to do? Everybody needs to experience this. Everyone needs this level of growth. Let's throw a conference. That'll be easy. So that was the first mistake. Yep. Just assuming because I put 60 people together at a hotel, like I can scale that to 800 people at a conference. So that was a mistake from the beginning. But at the end of the day, like if you do decide to throw an event, you're not doing it for the money. The money's not great. There's almost infinite better ways of getting ROI on your time than throwing a conference. You're doing it for the love. You're doing it for the experiences you're creating for people. You're doing it for the memories. You're doing it for creating a place in the industry for your particular tribe to hang out, right? So that's what it's all for. Of course, there's branding, but the double-edged sword with that is it's immeasurable. Sure, there's branding. There's some kind of immeasurable way that's coming back to my products and services or my brand that's benefiting me in some way. But that's the worst part of it too. Everything else I do is measurable.
Yeah.
The ads I spend, I know exactly how much money I get back from them. The blog posts I make, I know exactly how much leads they get. This one, I'm completely blind. So bring it back to the love. There's different types of trust that are built through different actions you do, creating a personal brand. So like at the lower end, you're on a podcast. This is like a pretty low barrier to entry. You get someone nice like Andre to have me on. I meet some new people. I gain some trust here. Maybe a level above that is like you're a speaker at a conference. That's some pretty high level stuff. But the highest level is you're the one throwing the conference. So there is this amount of branding that it does, but it's immeasurable. It's hard to put a finger on. So like really just forget all that and just do it for the love.
Love that. Do you for the love? I mean, there's a lot of love because I'm curious, like, how were some of your marketing strategies for, the Shanghai SEO conference? Because I mean, I was watching the early bird tickets and it was gone like in 2 days, like it was 2 or 3 days. I mean, it was a really hot ticket to get. I mean, so like, how were you like marketing it? I mean, how can for anyone that wants to start their own thing, like how do you get your level?
I think, well, I mean, it just took on this mythos. Is that the word for it? So like the reputation of the years past and like the goodwill and the thankful testimonials that have come from people that are past attendees is doing most of the work. But like the way I'm not doing anything special. First off, Thailand is doing most of the work. Check this out. So like if I put on a conference in Thailand, no company is going to send like a low-level employee. Oh, let's just send over an intern and take notes there and come back with us, whatever you learn to check my SEO. No one's sending their employee on a vacation to Thailand. I'm going to Thailand. Forget you guys. I'm going to take this work vacation. I'm going over there. The business owners going over there, the power affiliates, the best of the best. So like you get a high level of caliber of people there, and then put them in a place like Thailand where people are super nice. They're super open. It's a hustle city. Everyone here is an entrepreneur. And then that does all the work. And I just curate a list of good speakers. I put together the program. The Thailand and the attendees themselves do the rest of the work.
Love that. We got some questions coming in from the audience. Again, we got one here from Brian. What is the number one SEO thing that you thought you could do, but then you realized you needed help?
SEO thing. So here's a different way of looking at it is like, you don't want to do any SEO thing. So I said this on Twitter, your ability to make income with SEO is inversely proportional with how much you log into WordPress. So at the beginning of your journey, you want to learn, how to create links. You want to learn how to optimize title tags. You want to learn all that stuff. But if you want to scale, you should assume that all this kind of stuff that you're doing should eventually not be on your plate anymore. You want other people to do it. The biggest resistance people have, well, no one can choose anchor text like I do. So this is my specialty. No one can do it as good as I can. Trust me, if you gave link building to one, you're doing all this different shit right now. You're uploading content, you're doing technical SEO, you're doing all this different stuff. If you gave one person link building, they're going to get better at you than you ever got. If that's all they're doing, they're going to get better than you. So you need to understand that. And as soon as you start assigning responsibilities and not tasks, that's going to really accelerate their growth. And so the way to look at it is like, you don't want to do anything eventually. You want to steer the ship. You want to decide the direction of your business. You want to work on acquisitions and sales and stuff like that. But eventually you don't want to log into WordPress at all. So it's all going to get off the table.
Love that. Eddie here asks, what software do you use for onboarding clients? Are you using any software there?
I have no clue. So here's another thing too. There's a book called Traction, in Traction, they talk about visionaries and implementers, right? So an implementer is your operations type person, the person who's going to do the hiring, build the teams, deliver the product, deliver the service over and over again. That's like your COOs, your operating officers and stuff like that. Then there's visionaries. Visionaries are the people that come up with the ideas. They're going to find product market fit. They're going to decide when to pivot. They're going to design the products and the services and stuff like that. They're not going to deliver it. They're going to create it, right? So I am a visionary. That's the only way that I can build like 5 different businesses. If I was the COO at any one of them, that would be the only business I could do. There's just too many moving parts of the CEO. So I don't know a lot of how we do things. I don't onboard the clients. I'm not going to client meetings. I'm not deciding the management software. I don't implement Trello. I don't do all that stuff. I focus on what I'm good at, which is the visionary part of things and steering the ship.
Love that. So we have Garth here. My man Garth has a couple questions here. His first one was, what thing are you doing that you want to outsource?
You want to outsource everything. So like eventually, I mean, if we're talking about internal outsourcing, like sure, versus external outsourcing, like that's a different question. But like, I don't want to do anything that I'm doing right now. Like right now, I'm going through this quarterly process. And what I do is I write down every minute of the day, what am I doing? So, okay, I woke up and I answered some social media stuff. I did a meeting with this agency that's working on my funnels. I did some SEO testing. I worked on Chiang Mai SEO conference. And I know like I did 17 minutes of this, I did 13 minutes of that, whatever. So I calculate on a quarterly basis exactly what I'm spending my time on. And then and analyze everything. Anything that I can give up, that's on the chopping block. I want to give that up. I want to get rid of that so I can continuously move forward to doing almost nothing and just focus on like business level decisions and stuff like that. So I ideally want to outsource everything, but there's some things I can outsource, which I talked about before, which is scripting. I would do anything to find like a scripter, someone that can take over like scripting videos for me, but just like, whenever I've tried, I spend more time editing their scripts than I would have been able to write 4 of them at the same time.
Love that, man. You actually really record like all your daily tasks, and you can really look and see what you're gonna. That's a great exercise, guys. I think I'm gonna try that out myself. All right, so his second question, Garth asks, what would the ultimate small team look like for affiliate sites? Job roles.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you have a project manager. So that's typically they're going to manage 1 to 3 sites. So they're just kind of overseeing everyone else that's underneath them. Underneath them, they're going to have a content manager. So that's the ones who figure out like the content plan, hire the content writers and the content editors. You have content writers, content editors. Writers write, editors edit, and they all report to the content manager. Now, when you get AI involved, you don't need the writers anymore. And you don't need the editor if you have a good process. So maybe the content manager can handle that whole part. Then we have link builders. So typically like you have a link building manager, and that's going to like manage the other people underneath him. The people underneath him is you have your prospectors. Those are the ones that figure out what links, what sites you're going to outreach to. And then the link builders themselves. These are the outreach people. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can get into like also like one of the first hires you should ever have is an uploader. So who's going to take that content that's written, upload it on the site? Like this is one of the easiest things to outsource, and like is one of the most time-consuming, useless tasks that no business owner should waste their time with. Besides, like there's no chance in hell that you're a better designer than a designer is. So they're going to do a better job than you.
Love that. So I wanted to I have a couple more questions here, and we're coming close to time, guys. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and sneak them in, because I have a few more questions myself. I mean, right now, I want to ask you, like, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and changes in the SEO industry? I mean, like, what are the resources you rely on? Because I mean, this is actually apparent in your videos, right? Because you actually talk about some of the latest things that are happening out there. So I mean, so how are you like kind of keeping up with all that?
Yes. Number one is I do a monthly SEO news roundup, and I have someone that goes out and scans the internet and finds content that goes in there. Just like you at the beginning of this video, like you had to find out what were the latest things that are talked about in SEO. Like you got someone doing that, scanning the internet too. So that's part of it. Another huge part of it is networking. So just like building a network of smart people. And one of the biggest fruits that I've built out of networking is a testing group. So as I told you, like I do single variable testing, but like these tests are hard to set up. And I would say 9 times out of 10, they don't give you the result that you're looking for. Like either the test gets messed up because an algorithm update completely screwed your results, or you had a hypothesis that something was a ranking factor, but it really wasn't. So like you do a lot of SEO testing, but it rarely bears fruit. But if you form a testing group, so right now my testing group is Joshua Gafferlu, Kyle Roof, Corey Tugberg, Michael and Robert from Poland. And so we just collaborate and share our test results. So now my one test result that I get per month is now compounded into 6. So that's another way to really accelerate like your knowledge.
Ooh, I love that. Love that. We got one more question from LinkedIn, and it's by Sandy again. Let's see here. She asks, have you ever used your SEO skills for the greater good, like causes you care about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do SEO pro bono for this yoga school that in Chiang Mai, and I do consultations for free for people here in Chiang Mai. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing SEO for a cannabis business. That's arguable if that's for the greater good, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. So yeah, I mean, eventually, what I see myself moving into when I'm like done with this SEO hustle myself is moving into an angel investment role. And so smart money or smart equity involves not just putting in all money to be an angel investor, but you're putting in your resources and your knowledge too. So that's the direction I'm going with things. And like, I would almost exclusively invest in like businesses that I feel make a difference in the world and are important to me.
Love that. Okay, so my last question here before I ask my ultimately last question. So looking forward, what do you see as the biggest challenges and opportunities facing SEO in the industry for like, within the coming years?
The obvious one's generative AI, right? So like it's the biggest challenge and it's the biggest opportunity at the same time. The challenge is like, we're going to lose some traffic. The opportunity is like, you can now generate content with AI.
Love that. Matthew asks, top 3 under the radar SEOs you'd recommend to follow.
Well, they're under the radar. How do you follow them? So I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. But I would say, like, let's see. I mean, Corey is not under the radar, but he's really smart, and that's like going to get you knowledge of your like patents and stuff like that. Dude, I don't really know, man. It's a hard question.
Who are the 4 people, or who are the people again in your group, your mastermind group again? Just in case, so if you can catch that.
Yasser Gafferlu, he's 22 years old. He's been in SEO since he was like 12. He's ranked for keywords like loan in Norway. He's got one of the biggest CBD companies in the United States. Like, he's just not followable. He doesn't see any upside from being on social media. Kyle Roof, Corey, Robert Nischel is like a powerhouse in AI who's coming up. He's out of Poland. And Michael, but he doesn't have a SEO presence.
Okay, thank you for that. And Brian's last question here before I let you go. In the affiliate space, are you able to omnichannel effectively like any other industry? Any limitations?
Omnichannel, like traffic from different sources. I'm not sure what.
I would think so. Yeah. Are you able to omnichannel effectively like any other industry? Any other?
So, okay, if we're talking about different traffic sources and stuff like that, so like your bread and butter is going to come from SEO traffic, just because that's the knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
But right, like you really start to create a flywheel if you can build retargeting into that. So if you have a high converting offer and you can build up a Facebook pixel and stuff like that, or sorry, not Facebook. Most Facebook will block you on sending people to affiliate offers with affiliate links and stuff like that. But Google Display Ad Network, if you can build this audience and then anyone who visited my page on this product, then retarget them into Google Display Ad Network, you can get them over to the product placement website and then really accelerate things. Other than that, it's like you always want to build an email list. You always want to try to see how I can diversify traffic, even though I haven't that much success with it. We're still trying Instagram. We're still trying Pinterest. We're not giving up on that, but like it's like 90% SEO, 10 to 20% ads, maybe 5% email list, and then the rest we're trying to do with social media.
Love that. Okay, this is ultimately my last question for this episode. If someone wants to become an SEO professional, get into the SEO game, what would your advice be to them?
The only way you can be a pro is just by doing it. You have to get started. You just have to do it. Like you can watch all the stuff you want on the internet about learning SEO. You're going to get confused because everyone's got a different way of doing it. None of them are wrong. There's a million ways to skin a cat with SEO. But the only way for you to really learn it for yourself is just doing it yourself.
Love that. So for this episode to feel complete, I mean, the stage is yours. Any last comments, and how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, the last advice is like anyone can do this. I see people that are millionaires from SEO that don't have high school diplomas. I never thought I'd make millions of dollars from this. Like the scalability of the internet just makes growth unlimited. You know, like it's not a local business, it's a global business. And there's just no ceiling on that. Don't get lost in the minutia of SEO. You can know all the schema in the world, but does that make you money? You really got to stay focused on the business aspect side of things. So read that book that I told you about, Who, the A Method for Hiring, start to look at management and stuff like that. And then log into WordPress less and less over time. To reach me, go to diggitymarketing.com. You can follow me on Twitter, or probably the best way to consume my content is on YouTube, Matt Diggity YouTube channel.
Love that. So Matt, can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Just hold on for one quick second. All right. Let's see here. All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Please support the channel by liking and subscribing. And I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Barnard and Olga helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!